Hey everybody, it's Christy Bird and Wes Lewis with 180 Digital. We're back with another conversation. We're going to talk about one of the blog posts that we've created in the past. We'll also be doing ones that we're creating now and or that we've recently posted, but this one is going to be one that we did last year. So today we're going to be talking about planning your social media strategy around Easter. Now we're recording this in July, so we put this out in March so that you guys could get prepared for Easter. But we thought it would be kind of worth it to go back. Maybe people can watch this for next Easter, and it also has just some general nuggets on social media strategy. So we're going to talk through a couple of the items.
Yeah, I mean, Easter is obviously the biggest service a church is going to have for the entire year, pretty much. And so, uh, creating a strategy. Hey, step one is just
Yeah.
let's thinking through how can we promote our Easter well to let people know, how they can attend, what to expect, those sorts of things. And this post has some great ideas about that.
Yeah, so I did include in the article, and if anybody who's interested in a data nerd, kind of like myself, I really like the data element of everything, as you guys will get to know me. Really love the data, and I did include a little bit of data in this post, if you're interested in kind of what is happening in churches regard to Easter, when how it's the most popular attended service in the realm of church attendance. So just maybe take a minute to, if you're interested in that kind of thing, going back and looking at that. I just find it super interesting that Christmas and Easter continue to be the most attended service, and people can have varying opinions on if that's good or bad and why that is, and what do pastors do with it. But just acknowledging the fact and starting from there as something with regards to your social media strategy is, I think, valuable.
Yeah, I mean, and just to kind of start things off here, some of the types of posts that we mentioned in this article is that just the first one off the bat we talked about. This is a teaser post, putting something out there to get people thinking about Easter. So
Hmm.
making sure that they're already just letting them know. I mean, everybody knows it's coming, but hey, they need to be reminded to be thinking about where are you going to go to church on Easter, and if
Hmm.
you're because the reality is most unchurched people will attend church on Easter if they're going to attend church at least once a year. That's most likely the Sunday they're going to do that. So go ahead and start getting their priming the pump, so to speak, of where they're going to be going. You want them to come to your church. So that teaser post is real important just to get people thinking about those sorts of things.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. The other thing that we kind of talk about here, which we kind of already mentioned, is having a strategy. And one of the things that um, I like to mention in these kinds of conversations is, kind of, I know it can sound daunting, but like kind of planning out what that strategy is going to look like, you know, several months in advance
Mhm.
potentially. And when we're talking about teasing, it obviously it depends on how big the event's going to be, and how many resources your church has, and if your church has a budget for these kinds of things. All of those conversations kind of come into play, but you want to have an idea of what you're going to do, and that's going to take some pre-planning. So that we're talking about getting started on this concept in January potentially, and really thinking about, like, well, how soon do I need to get that teaser out? Do I need to get it out in March? Do I need to get it out at the end of February? It kind of depends on how your planning typically goes.
Mhm. And really, if you're going to do it well, I mean, you're going to need, if you want to include some video elements and things like that, you're going to need to have
Mhm.
leadway to be able to get those things together, record
Yeah.
those things, hopefully get graphics and things like that. If you're going to want to have those sorts of things in your Easter post, so you need to have time to be able to gather those things together. And I find, just from my own personal experience working with churches, most churches they really don't start thinking about Easter until about a month and a half out, when you need more time than that to really
Yeah.
do it well, think through what you're going to be doing, really get those teaser posts and those other types of posts and making that strategy ahead of time. And January is a great time to do that. So just as you get back from Christmas, go ahead and at least have a brainstorm conversation about what you want to do and how you can promote Easter better.
Yeah. And another, that's absolutely true. Another point that I kind of highlighted in this post in particular is Facebook, at least right now, is still a really strong place for churches to be getting information out about specifically events. A lot of people in the age demographic who are making these decisions are on Facebook still and are using Facebook predominantly for finding groups, finding places, even messaging companies. I mean, a lot of people are still using Google as well, but people do use Facebook also to find businesses. And so, having an event set up on Facebook is super valuable. That is different, just to be clear, it is different than just posting about your event on your page. So, like, there is a feature that you can set up an event. And so, we highly recommend having a Facebook event or a registration link that you're already using if you're not going to use a Facebook event. From your site that really allows people to find the information in one place, maybe even let you know that they're coming, so that you can kind of gather information about who's coming and help people get there. So that's one strategy that I think is really helpful for churches, to creating that Facebook event and or creating a registration link.
Yeah, one of the power of Facebook events is what I call the friends of friends, um, engagement. So you have the
Mhm.
ability, when you create create a Facebook event, that it's going to show that the friends of the friends, that these people are interested in this event. So that's going
Mhm.
to give you a boost in your reach automatically just by creating that. And then also, especially if they RSVP for it, say that they're going, Facebook is going to recommend, or at least show that to friends of that person who may be already an attender of your church, to let them know that, hey, their friend is going to this. Is this something that you're interested in? And
Yeah.
so it is like kind of like a free promotion, and it's a great way to be able to get an idea and gauge, how many people potentially might be coming if they RSVP to that event, or at least that they're interested. And then you can use that down the road. That information is good to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think one thing that you hit on here that I wanted to just talk about real quickly, you mentioned at the end of the article, is just the idea of a fun post. And I wanted to
Mhm.
bring this out because a lot of times we can be very serious around Easter, and
Mhm.
I know there's people, Easter egg hunts and those sorts of things that are fun posts, but I think the intention of really promoting that message, if you can do it in a way, because humor and just having a fun attitude about some of the posts that you make can really help drive up that engagement. Because, and it's not that it is a serious holiday, it is something that
Yeah.
we take seriously as Christians, but at the same time, it is something that we can engage with other people in a way that is fun and not necessarily always extremely serious. And so I thought
Mhm.
that that was a great idea for churches who may be thinking of what kind of fun type of post can I make about this. And your example that we gave about how people just taking pictures of, typically people dress up on Easter, kind of having those sorts of things, what people are wearing. I mean, there's some ways you can run with those sorts of ideas that really could kind of create some engagement in a lot of different types of ways.
Yeah, I like the idea too. And well, I mean, I guess I would also say that, it is a serious holiday. And one of the reasons I wanted to highlight the fun post is not just because it's a good marketing strategy, but also because, we as Christians, that is our, really, Easter is such a day of hope. And so let's not dismiss the fun and the joy that we get from that holiday, and really pass it on in our messaging as well. As we talk about in other posts and in other videos how we're going to be telling stories through social media, and why not it be a really hopeful and fun and upbeat message too when we're talking about Easter.
Yeah.
But actually, there are several post ideas in this article. We're not going to be able to run through all of them, but if you want to take some time to kind of strategize your next event or your next year's Easter, when it comes time to do that, take a look through the post. There are some like more specific ideas that you can kind of take away, or twist and move and kind of play around with. There are some things that I did mention in the post as well, like repetitions and not being
Mhm.
afraid to post the same message a couple of times, because not everyone's going to see it, and things like that. So there's some marketing nuggets in there that will be helpful really to all kinds of general messaging that you can use. And there's some specific to Easter that will be helpful. So I really recommend taking a look at this one and maybe even, bookmarking it for future. If you're, planning on coming up with an event in the future, or when you get ready for Easter, you can take a look at it.
Yeah, we all want to be prepared for Easter. I mean, that's one of those things that comes around every single year. So the more we can have, more ideas that we can have, and how we can do that better, and just kind of growing from there. So it's a great post. Take a time to read it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all the time we have today. We hope that you enjoyed this discussion, and we hope that you are able to get a chance to read this post if you haven't already. We are going to be adding the videos to the blog posts on the website. So you'll be able to watch this there, or skim through the actual article and look through some of the ideas there as well. So if you'll go to 180 Digital, the website, and just go to blogs, you can see the videos and the posts. We have many others. We still have more coming. So if you'd like to stay up to date, you can always subscribe. You'll go down to the bottom and there's a subscribe area. And we recommend that you do that, and we can keep you up to date on what's going on.